All right, I'm going to chat client Matt Buckner, and just some of what noticed through his Opex body, Opex move, and Opex work. Just a reminder, and I don't know if I probably am saying this in all of them. We don't have the in-body, so I am doing measurements to enter into the calculator online to get all the information, as well as just a traditional scale. Matt is one of my big boys. He did weigh in at 230, and I got his body fat to be at 26%. Certainly, he's carrying some extra pounds around. I think he is a little bothered by that and would like to be leaner. That said, his BMR came out to be 2,080, and he told me in our assessment that he's specifically trying to cut, which I will most likely recommend to not, only because I know that he is preparing for a local competition here. So I think that we can adjust his nutrition, clean it up a little bit, obviously cut down on some obvious things like beers during the week, and I think we'll see maybe not tremendous weight gain, weight loss, but perhaps some recomping as we prepare for the competition, and that's not until April. So taking those numbers, behavior-wise, let's nix the beers during the week. Maybe try to stick to only one weekend day with having some bevies. And I would probably, should I continue to work with him, or if he were a client that I was going to continue to work with, I would have him ultimately, if he's serious about the local comp and just doing his best, go totally dry for at least 4, if not 5 to 6 weeks out from that. So yeah, as far as move, let me pull up here just a couple things. He did really well with all of this. Actually, like Brian, one of my 3 guys, also noticed the flared chest with the scratch test, but nothing concerning per se, and no pain. The other things he did make note of, he passed the lunge test, no problem. Just referenced a little tightness in his left hip flexor. And then he referenced his forearms being a little tight in the reverse plank. I am going to kind of take this to believe that maybe we need to up our water. I think he might have just been a little dehydrated. Again, he's also one of my older athletes that I'm working with, in that he's 35. So I think we need to kind of keep that in mind as well. Personal note, I kind of flubbed him. I stopped him at 2 minutes for the front plank. That's just my fault. He could have kept going, he said, and his body position looked great, and hopefully you'll be able to see that from the video. But everything else looked fine, and he passed those side planks no problem as well. For Opex work, the 10 minutes, kind of thought he would, as a big boy at 230, and 5'8", 5'10", maybe. I don't think he's 5'10". I need to actually find that out. But at his weight, I expected him to be in the hundreds on calories, and he was not. So I think there's conditioning work to be done there. I do anticipate that I'll want to start him in pain, probably just 1 day a week on Saturdays, to build up a little there, and then we will be starting probably with like 15-minute workouts, so map 8. I know him as an athlete because he is one of my athletes, and I do think that, just my opinion from seeing him, not just in what I had to do for this assessment, but in watching him in classes and in performances for qualifier for this comp, not a lot of understanding of his own ability and pace, and he will absolutely take off and go, but he'll crash and burn quickly. So he's got the drive, he has the mindset to just let it hurt and go, but we need to rein it in a little bit and feel like he is more aware of what pace he can maintain for movements, combination of movements, etc. Anyway, I'm rambling, but I think that all in all, I don't have he's capable of doing gymnastics, so I'm not super concerned about his weight being that high, but I think we could do a little recomp by cleaning up the nutrition, even though I don't know that we'll necessarily want to cut a lot of calories right now. Movement looks good, maybe just work on a little core strengthening for the flaring, and we'll be doing a lot of shoulder opening exercises, especially on days when he is going to be snatching, because he has a goal for that. And then the work, again, he just needs to learn his own know thyself, so we'll spend some time there.